Welcome once again, Hot Wheels racing fans. Thanks for tuning into the Road Toad Racing channel. Greg here, and as promised, for those of you that have been watching for a few, I have been promising a exotic supercar race, and it is upon us. Now, we are going to do this as a choose your ride. So you are going to pick one of these 70 cars that we have laid out here on the table. And you are going to then pick who you think is going to be the fastest out of all of these exotic supercars. But before we introduce you to the field of 70, let's take a quick look and see what the track is that they'll be racing on. All right, this is how the super speedway is set up. The starting gate has been raised 6 inches from previous races. You're looking at 2.5 feet up in the air. Our supercar, exotic cars, will make their way down the drop. Straight down, straight shot here to the finish. 14 feet. Find out who the fastest is. All right, let's take a look at the field and see who's going to comprise of our 70 cars. Now, I did say 70 cars. We're actually going to have a 64 car bracket. As you see there, we've got 4 lanes that we're going to race on. Well, 70 doesn't quite add up and make things even once you start doing the math. So we need to actually dwindle this down to 64 cars. And I'm going to explain that to you here in just a second. But let's start introducing you to the field of 64. So let's get started here. We've got these broken down by the different types of cars. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to select and just pick whether or not you think the Lamborghinis, Porsche, or whatever. So if you choose Lamborghinis, you're going to have these Lamborghinis to choose from. First off, we've got our Lamborghini Huracan LP 622 Super Trofeo in gray. We're going to kind of run through these fast because we have 64 of them to go through. Next, out of the Matchbox series, we have our Lamborghini Gallardo LP 564 Polizia. Remember, if you select Lamborghini, you're going to get any of these 5 Lamborghinis. From the Gran Turismo series, we've got our Lamborghini Gallardo LP 574 Super Leggero in yellow. Also from the Gran Turismo series, we have our Lamborghini, our Lamborghini Aventador LP 704 in a beautiful orange. And our last of our Lamborghinis is our Lamborghini Sesto Elemento in green. So again, if you choose Lamborghini, you have 5 choices and chances to win there. Now, representing our Porsches, starting off with our Porsche 911 GT3 RS in red. From the Matchbox Porsche, it is our Porsche Cayman, also in red. Looks pretty tight there. We have in the Hot Wheels our Porsche 993 GT2, one of the newer cars out of our 2017 series there, in orange, out on shelves now. We've also got our Porsche 930. Nice and heavy car there, representing our Porsche. Got a couple more Porsches here. We've got a Porsche Panamera in red. And lastly, our Porsches in our single cars is a Porsche 934 Turbo RSR. Now, I know we've got some more Lamborghinis and Porsches in our 5-packs. We'll introduce those here in just a second, but let's continue on here. Next, we've got representing our Dodge Vipers. First off, we've got a 2005 Dodge Viper SRT in black with the red stripe, reddish-orange racing stripes going down that. And we've also got our Hot Wheels SRT Viper GTSR from the Hot Wheels racing team. I believe there's another Viper in our 5-packs there. We'll get to those in a second again. Now, one of my favorites here, maybe because I'm just a big, huge Bond fan, but it's our Aston Martins. Here is our Aston Martin 177 in silver. We've got from the Bonds, from Spectre, our Aston Martin DB10, also in silver. Aston Martin Vantage GT3 in black and that pretty cool blue Aston Martin Vantage GT3. Again, if you want Aston Martins, if any of these, you get all of them, just select Aston Martin. We'll give you a shout out at the end. Our Aston Martin DBS in blue and our Aston Martin DBS in red. All right, let's move it on here. Next up, we've got our Ford GT. This is our black Ford GT LM. We've got our 2017 Ford GT. We've got a Thrill Racers. This is from the 2011 series, a Ford GT in blue. It's a pretty looking car. And from our 2009 series, a Ford GT as well. And that's also the LM. Alrighty. Keeping on and moving on. Our next lineup here is from the Gran Turismo series. This is our Nissan Skyline GTR. Sorry, having a little bit of difficulties trying to do this with the opposite hand. And that's the R32. So I got some lighting going on here behind me. And then we've got one other Nissan Skyline GTR, the R34. Looking pretty cool. Got those two Nissans going to represent there. Next up, only a couple in my line up here, but our Ferraris. A Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. It's a nice looking Ferrari in silver. And then we've got the LaFerrari. Nice looking Ferrari as well. So two Ferraris making up those there out of our single packs. And we've got our Jaguar from Matchbox. Our orange 2015 Jaguar F-Type Coupe. Looks pretty. And then we've also got from the Gran Turismo series, our Jaguar XJ220. Alrighty here. So we've got some singles that only have maybe one or two representations, so your chances and odds of selecting these aren't quite as good, but you never know. You got to take a shot. Our orange Lotus Evora G24. That's pretty. We've got a Mercedes, and this is a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren from Matchbox. Beautiful looking Mercedes. We've got an Alfa Romeo 4C in red. I know there is another Alfa Romeo over there somewhere in one of those 5-packs. We'll get to that again, like I said, in just a second. So again, if you want any of those, just select it down there, down below in your comments. Just let us know which group you think would win. Obviously, this is the only Bentley. We've got our Bentley Continental Super Sports. So if you choose Bentley, this is your only chance, but you never know. One of our concept cars here, we've got a Callaway C7 in blue. The only one of these we have from the 2010 series. And then we've got a Pagani Herrera in blue as well. And I believe there is another Pagani over there. But again, that's the only Callaway that we've got there. So if you select Callaway, just the one shot. Got a few more cars here. We'll get to these in just a second. I'll explain to you why those are here. But let's get to our 5-packs. Starting off here, we've got our 5-pack here. We'll take a quick look, and then I'm going to have to actually cheat. I've written down what these are on the back. So first off is our gold. That is our Lamborghini Mira, so that would add to your Lamborghinis. Secondly there, in red, we have our BMW Z8. I believe that is our only representation for BMW. Next, in blue, we've got the Lotus Exiage. Again, that's our second Lotus there. We've got our Corvette. And then lastly, down below, that is our VW V12 concept car, the only representative for Volkswagen, that VW. Nice looking like that Matchbox 5-pack there. All right. Next up, we've got our second Matchbox 5-pack. A lot of you will see this out in the streets right now. We've got a Ford Cobra, the only one of those that we're going to represent. Another Ford GT, this one in blue. So if you selected Ford GT from earlier, you've got one more entry there, one more possibility. Also there for the Lotus. We'll call all the Lotuses in one group. So if you pick that Lotus there, that will be included with the other Lotuses. And I believe, yep, that's a Porsche 911 Turbo. Just wanted to be specific there in that ugly burnt orange color. And lastly, we've got a Corvette ZR1 down there in the bottom. Kind of hard to see it. Trust me, he's down there. Sorry about the light, folks. Doing the best I can. There he is. All right, so that's our 2 5-packs. The Corvettes you would mix up with the other Corvettes we'll get to here in just a moment. All right, we've got a couple 5-packs here. First from 3 Hot Wheels 5-packs. This is a little bit older. Our Super Show Cars. We've got starting up the top there. That one there is our Dodge Viper. So we have one more Dodge Viper to the mix. In green, that is another Jaguar XJ220. In red, we've got a Vector Autech. That is a Vector Autech. So the only Vector there that you see there in red. And then lastly, a Zender Fact 4 is the bottom one there. Only one Zender to choose from. Moving on to our next Hot Wheels pack here. We've got the Pagani atop, so another Pagani there. Underneath that, we have our Lamborghini Aventador, so another Lamborghini to add to the mix. Then in green, we've got another Porsche, that being the Porsche 911 GT, a Lotus, a Spirit, Lotus, another Lotus there to add to their chances. And then finally down below, we have another Alfa Romeo. So we've got a couple Alfa Romeos to choose from. And lastly, we've got one more here to choose from. We've got up top a Porsche, followed by yet another Alfa Romeo. Underneath there, we've got another Pagani, followed by a Porsche Panamera. And then lastly, that is another Lamborghini. This is the Lamborghini Aventador. So, we've got all of those, and last but not least, we have a small group down here. Remember I said we have 70 cars? Well, we need to cut that field down and get it to 64. So we need to lose 6 cars. So what we're going to do, and we're going to do this right now, we are going to rip these cars open, and we're going to choose one car from each class. So out of these 3 McLaren P1s, we've got a blue, a yellow, and an orange. Only one can advance and make it to our field of 64. So we're going to race you. Then we've got our 2 Corvette CZRs. One in blue, one in white. Only one can make it in. We also have our Renault Sports RS01s. Only one is going on. Our 17 Acura NSXs in blue and in red. That's right, only one's going on. And lastly, we've got quite a few Lamborghinis over there. The Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4 in orange and also in yellow. Only one can move on. So we're going to race these 5 races. Let's move on over to the track and we'll explain how we're going to do it. All right, here's our first 2. We've got our Corvette CZRs, blue and white. Let's open them up and get them up in the starting gate. Starting gates, we've got in lane 1 our blue Corvette, and lane 4 our white one. So this is how this is going to work. You're going to have to win on both lanes. If you can't win on lanes 1 and 4, we're going to move into the inside lanes in 2 and 3 until one person can win 2 in a row to move on to the major tournament. Here we go on our race's first heat. On a mark, get set, go.
Winner, lane 4.
Wow, what a way to get this thing started. That was super close. In lane 4, our white Corvette wins our first heat. If he wins this one, he's moving into the tournament. On our mark, get set, go. Not even close. Moving to the tournament, lane 1, our white CZR. Next up, we've got our 2017 Acura NSXs. One in red, one in blue. Open them up. Let's get them up there. All right. Red and SX in lane 1. Blue in 4. Here we go. On our mark. Get set. Go.
Winner! Lane 1!
Red wins 1. Let's get him back up there. We've switched lanes. Let's see what we got. On our mark. Get set. Go.
Winner! Lane 4!
Our red NSX is moving on. Next up, our Renault Sport RSs. Let's open them up. Get them up in the gate. All right, our Renaults. Yellow in lane 4. Silver, lane 1. Heat 1. On our mark. Get set. Go. Oh, that was fast.
Winner! Lane 4!
Yellow. Lanes have been switched. On our mark. Get set. Go.
Winner! Lane 1!
Without a doubt, our yellow Renault's faster. Moving on to the big dance. This should be fun. Lamborghini Huracan LP 610-4 in orange and yellow. Wow, that's nice. Up in the gates. Here we go. On our mark. Get set. Go. Yellow takes first. Heat 2, here we are. On our mark. Get set. Go. It was bound to happen. We're going to move into the inside lanes. Well, it was going to happen sooner or later. We're going to move into the inside lanes. So remember, still got to win 2 in a row. On our mark. Get set. Go. There's yellow. Can't wait to see the replay on that. Nice. All right, as promised, we switch lanes. Yellow in lane 3. If he can win this, he's moving on. On our mark. Get set. Go. He's flipping over there. Flipping because he's excited to make it. He's going dancing. Only one spot remaining in the big dance. It can only be taken by one of these McLarens. I can tell you which one I'm looking. Let's get him up there. Let's see what happens. Maybe it's just the chrome wheels. I don't know. That's why it gets my vote. But let's see what happens. So a little bit different. We got 3 of them racing. You don't have to win back-to-back. You just got to win 2. So the first car to win 2 races is moving on and taking that last spot in our exotic car super tournament. On our mark. Get set. Go. Okay, everybody's moved down one lane. Now we're in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Remember, just got to win 2 to move on. On our mark. Get set. Go. All right.
Lane 4.
It's been decided. That's our last spot. He's going to the final. All right, let's take a quick look. These are the cars that did not make it. Ran valiantly, but just not fast enough to make it into our 64 tournament. Here's the ones that will be representing their class. We've got the Lamborghini, the Renault, the Acura, the Corvette, and my favorite of the day, the McLaren. So here's what we're going to do, folks. We have a bunch of those cars that just maybe have one car. If you want to select just other, just select other, and then you can be put in for any of the single name cars. We'll just consider that a category of its own. So go ahead, mark, let us know, put down who you think, which group is going to be the winner of our supercar race. Mark in the comments below. We'll give you a shout out. And here in a few days, we'll get this race underway with Day 1 Racing. Until then, peace.